Yo, what's up guys, it's Destroy, and with the recent global early access release, here are my initial thoughts on The Crew 2, having played over 20 hours of the closed and open beta. Character selection has 16 models to choose from, in various skin tones and in both male and female variety. However, it would have been appreciated if we could customize our characters all together, rather than choosing from a set of default characters, allowing us to adjust things such as skin tone, size and position of facial features, as well as body type individually. Holding to confirm everything is really annoying after enough time, like restarting a race, opening a live parts crate, exiting a racing hub, and so on and so forth. It's not much at first, but those precious multiple seconds at a time add up. In seemingly an effort to balance performance ratings of the vehicles, Ubisoft have seemed to completely screw up the pricing of vehicles in this game, most notably the bikes that cost hundreds of thousands of bucks. A particular example being that the Ducati Panigale R costs over 40k more than the Red Bull RB13 F1 car. Like, come on. Just make it so bikes and cars don't share performance parts. The RX-7 costs more in its street spec than as a drift edition, and the MX-5 is over 100k more than the RX-7. Crashes don't feel satisfying or impactful. They feel overcushioned and bouncy, among other things. Gone are the kits applied to base vehicles from the Crew 1. However, certain cars are still found in different categories, and having 9 370Zs when you don't have a single M3 or an Enzo seems a little strange. A complete lack of Mitsubishis and Subarus seems like a slap in the face to fans of JDM, especially considering there is an off-road family and a rallycross category. A lot of manufacturers seem to only have a few vehicles, some having just one in the catalogue of the Crew 2, like Honda with the new Civic, but forfeiting any bikes like the Fireblade. Hopefully more are added in future. They tease you with the helicopter and hovercraft, which you can't test since they aren't available at the hubs for purchase, and are only available through completing various story progression lines, so I'm yet to be able to test the handling models and feel of those. Fast travel is now restricted to unlocked events, friends and skills, as well as the 4 hubs, possibly to incentivize exploration, but since you can teleport between events, it seems superficial. You can also fast travel to highlights, and with the density of them on the map, you don't feel all too encouraged to manually travel. The map doesn't start initially grayed out, restricting your fast travel at first, like in the Crew 1 either. Hubs function as all-in-one locations for meeting people, buying cars for that respective family of racing, and test driving vehicles, which is a bit clunky if you wish to test drive something other than the vehicle on display by default. Having to hover over from the buy menu and then exit the buy menu just seems like extra unnecessary steps. You can also collect performance parts you didn't pick up from your mailbox, which is basically a shipping container. Something everyone and their grandmother has probably already noticed is the fact that the nitrous flames on the Regera don't appear out of the actual exhausts. This is obviously going to bother some more than others, but just thought I would also point it out. Propeller planes are cool and all, but give me jets, please. Okay, thanks. There is no engine cut-off button, and the odometer from the Crew 1 was removed. Having the quick game option located in the Y menu rather than the start menu isn't clear, nor is the F3 to hide the chat on PC, which should fade by default after enough time of inactivity instead of just graying out. There isn't a convenient way to skip to your house or garage. Having to open the map and select it can be particularly inconvenient if you're on the far left reaches of the vast map, and starting races should be an option from the minimap since you can fast travel to them anyway. Boats can fall out of the sky at up to 420 miles an hour, because why not? For those wondering why the handling felt really awkward and assisted, is because it was. To cure this, you had to bring up your mobile garage, which looks different to the Crew 2's predecessor, click on a vehicle from a particular family's performance option, and then click Pro Settings, which is a drag to get to for someone just trying to turn down the level of assists. And this isn't easily apparent that this option exists, as proven by all the angry people complaining of it not being in the game. Speaking of assists, by default all the assists on all the vehicles are at 100% for no apparent reason. There is no option upon starting the game to choose the difficulty setting, which will start you off with different assist settings, so you get odd snapping when cornering and struggle to drift in anything other than a drift spec. You seem to unlock more fine-tuning options as you progress through the ranks of popularity. The weather diversity is considerable, not only with each biome, but it's not uncommon for the entire map to be covered in a sheet of snow, yes, even Death Valley. Live photo is easy enough to access and use, however, live video can be a bit daunting because there isn't a tutorial to get you used to the new interface. The upgrade system is a demonstration of how Ubisoft is a proponent of RNG based upgrades, with different rarities for each individual part, ranging from common to rare to epic. The latter two providing you with 1 and 2 perks respectively, which boost your vehicle's capabilities in some way. It's yet to be seen if this becomes a catalyst to pay to win players taking over. Monetized crates with guaranteed higher rarity parts seems like a very real possibility in today's microtransaction mad climate. When you scrap parts, you get nothing in return, which makes the option to do so seem convenience based only, even though it also requires you to hold the button down, so they should at least add a bulk scrapping option. Vehicles sharing the same discipline also share the same performance parts, which you have finite inventory space for, but cannot equip the same exact part simultaneously. Vehicle customization isn't the worst, but it seems to be particularly thin when you move away from the four-wheeled variety, and in a lot of cases, non-existent. The user interface for the customization leaves somewhat to be desired. It's a bit awkward having to hold right till you get to the 45th option out of 83, since they aren't categorized past type of part. Neon, tire smoke color, and horns are all sorely missed customization options. The character customization is in a similar vein. Hopefully more customization options are added in general in future. PS, I can't seem to get this damn beanie off my head. Player customized helmets could be interesting. Now that custom community liveries have been added, it's a lot easier to get your vehicle to look the way you want. Checkpoints in street races can be infuriating as they are heavy and drastically reduce your speed upon impact, despite AI having no significant drop off in speed. They should make them smoke markers or flags which don't slow you down to avoid this issue. Jumping physics are one of the more noticeable annoyances when it comes to the feel of the game, with bikes, boats and cars having the tendency to drop vertically like you're being dragged down. HUD elements might be confusing to some, since the speedometer and map are more commonly found on the opposite sides to those of that in the Crew 2. As well as that, ultra-wide gamers have the HUD elements still positioned in the 16:9 locations, so a HUD editor would be a welcome addition. The removal of cops may be a dividing issue, some being disappointed and others not caring. Regardless, it was an extra thing to do that the last game had that the Crew 2 does not, unless it's added in a future calling all units-esque update. In regards to the GPS, given the scale of the map, an ETA in addition to the distance would be cool, as journeys can take over half an hour. Off-road route direction could be better too. With 4 families of motorsport, street racing, off-road, pro racing and freestyle, 4 types of vehicles, bikes, boats, cars and planes, as well as 4 different surfaces, air, asphalt, off-road and water. It seems odd that there are only 3 quick switch options, especially because it should be easy enough to insert a 4th slot, since the downwards direction in the quick switch menu isn't occupied. It could be used to have a bike or an off-road vehicle. Rubber banding. It's particularly noticeable when your vehicle is below the recommended rating for the event, and seems to ease off when your vehicle exceeds the recommended rating. But the AI's ability to have no loss of speed upon collision their tendency to knock over the solid checkpoints and leave them in your path, and the bumper car style crashes when you impact them can all lead to a frustrating experience if you don't get and stay ahead. When it comes to wall riding, at least for me personally, I've experienced a spectrum of outcomes upon attempting a wall ride. Maybe it's something with my technique? I can sometimes have my speed brought to zero, and at other times have it barely diminished at all. Others have recounted different experiences, varying from it being completely overpowered to an instant race killer if you collide with a wall. Your mileage may vary. To stop this video from being endlessly long, I'll leave it at that. If there's anything of note that I missed, feel free to leave a comment below. If you have any suggestions for the Crew 2 related videos, leave them there too. If you enjoyed the video in any way, likes would be appreciated. Stay safe.